Hello, welcome to Candy's Crafts Corner. Happy President's Day weekend. As you can see, I'm still moving things around. I was not totally set up. Surprise, surprise. I was coming from a friend's house in Brooklyn, and the train took longer than expected. But anyway, let me see that everything is set up, and we'll get started. I didn't even bring my sample cards. Silly me. Anyway, let me go get them. The good news is that I found myself today without having to do too much effort. And I just threw something on the floor that we're gonna need. Oh well. One second. Okay. It doesn't want to be picked up. All right. Let me see how this is going. So here are the cards that we are gonna, well, we're not gonna make these cards. We're gonna make one that it's resembling this, because what I wanna talk about today is how to get this vintage steampunk look. And I don't know if you can, I don't know what the best way to showcase this is with my very limited space in my house. As you know, I always complain about these things. So let me see if I can get them both on camera. I think that should work. I don't know why this is all so crooked today. I don't know. Or maybe I can move it closer. How's that? I think that's a little bit better, right? And my thing is not cooperating. Anyway, maybe if I... I'm trying to do things properly, but anyway, we're gonna live with this because I don't know what's going on with my phone today. It feels like it's not standing up. But let me see if I can see your comments, if somebody's on. Doesn't seem that anybody's on yet, but anyway, we'll start. So as I was talking about, how to achieve a steam look, antique looking, vintage looking style in your cards, and I have a friend and client who loves these cards, and she just commissioned 4 new cards from me, and I was playing around with it, and I said, why not do a live about it? So I'll tell my approach, and you can apply it to your projects. So as you can see, what I did is I went through all my stash of paper. Well, first off, let's start with the colors. I'm using these brownish colors because they give the look. They're usually 2-tonal or 3-tonal, but always in this collection of colors like brownish and the crumb cake, soft suede, and Sahara Sand. Sahara Sand very little, mostly for sponging the edges and such. But early espresso, soft suede, crumb cake, these are my go-to colors for these kind of cards. And also for the cardstock, I'm using soft suede, crumb cake, and early espresso. And then I went through my collection of stamps, retired and current, and I found things that looks steampunk to me. And I got, like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to see them. I think it's better that I show them one by one. And I'm not sure that I'm gonna use everything in the same card, but on the ocean, for this, I used the boat, and I put some gears. The gears come from Gear Up Garage, and that's a retired thing, but it has these great dies of the gears. And I'm not gonna part with it. I still have it for these kind of cards. But anyway, for this one, I use this one, and the dies of the ocean I love. I don't know if you saw my post yesterday. I was doing the same, but with a more realistic, if you can call realistic what we do, but like with the blue ocean. And in this case, I used the, what is this called? This DSP paper that I find so useful, is In Good Taste. I'm not sure if it's still available, but it has a lot of wood paper or wood-like paper in different tones. And I thought, to me, steampunk is like all mechanic, but antique mechanic. So there's a lot of wood and a lot of metal. So I thought, why not make like, it's kind of like a automaton of the sea, kind of like with the wood there. And that's what I did. I used these beautiful dies here that for the wave. I don't know, they're a little confusing because once you cut them, you end up with these little things too. So I don't know exactly how to use them yet, but I'm playing with them. And and if you can take them on put or leave them on. So if you leave them on, they'll have these little right edges coming out, which is fine with me, because then you can put like the gears in the middle like I did here. And this comes from one of these pieces out here. But anyway, you can keep them together to give them texture, or you can keep them separate to give like a different look. Or you can put them upside down too. See? Anyway, I don't think we're gonna play with the wood ocean today, but I wanted to show you these. And I used the boat, and these can be sponged on crumb cake, or what I did to save time is use the card bases from the, what's the name of the kit now? I'm not gonna remember. Oh my god. It's one of our kids, the one who has the globe and the pocket watch. It's very cute. It's a little masculine, so if you were looking for a masculine kit, that's a good one. And it has already these card bases, so instead of sponging it myself, I use these for the sales here. Cut one of these for another possibility. I'm playing with it. I like to have pieces and play with them and see what works and what doesn't. So you're seeing today my creative process, which sometimes is messy, as creative process can be. But anyway, bear with me, please. And then for the other card, what I did is I went through other stamps, and I used this from Soar Confidently. We don't have this anymore. It's one of the retired sets, but if you happen to have it, it's very vintage looking. And I like the balloon and the dirigible for this. Especially the balloon. Well, both of them I like them. In this case, I used the other one, the other balloon, or the dirigible, or whatever you want to call it. And this is also the world that comes in the set that in the kit that I was telling you about. I'm blanking, guys. I'm so sorry. I can check it out later, but I'm kind of like corralled here with all I cannot move much. So forgive me for that. But it's the kit that has the birthday with the watch and the globe. So this is what it would be in the, the stamp is just the countries, and then I just cut a circle around it with one of our layering circles. And this one comes from another favorite set of mine, which is Very Versailles, which I believe is still available. And this has been available on the annual catalog for a couple of years, and I love it. I will never part with it. I love the scripty thing. I love this, I love this detail. I love everything about it. My only complaint about this one is it doesn't have a happy birthday message, which I think that all sets should have a happy birthday because there's many birthdays. Anyway, hi, whoever joined, thank you for joining. Welcome. And say hi if you want. Don't be shy. Anyway, so this is Very Versailles, and I use for this card this scripty thing, and then I use this one as well. I don't know what to call this. I don't know, this frame, ornate frame. And what I did with this one, I did it twice. I did it once in early espresso, and then I went over it with Versamark, and I put some gold embossing powder, but just partially, because I didn't want it to be all together, like all around the two gold. And also sponge this, and I use the gears, and I put a little bit of gold trim around this to emphasize the mechanism part of the car. And I cut it with the deckled rectangles, and in the base it's the Time Warp type, and it's the embossing folder for that, so it has texture. You can barely see it because this covers most of it. Hi Deborah, how are you? And anyway, so today I thought like another set that I like very much for this kind of old looking cards is Ranunculus Romance, and still available as well. As I said, very versatile, and these I'm afraid, I hope not, but I'm afraid they may retire with the arrival of the new catalog. So if you want it, jump on it. I think I'm not gonna part with these two because I really like them. These, I think today we're gonna play with a little bit of these, and maybe some of the stamps here, and we'll see. I'm gonna improvise. And another set that has like some old-fashioned stuff, also retired, is this Sailing Home, and I like the compass here very much. And it also has nice dies for it, so you can actually, because I've used this for my boat now that I see it, but you know, that's why it's good to check the catalog and see exactly what's available with your sets, because you sometimes tend to use the same stamps or the same dies from the sets, and it's good to get a refresh. And another thing that I thought it would be interesting to use is maybe this from Legendary Ride. I love this. This is one of our new sets in the mini catalog, and it comes with this embossing folder that's very, very cool. It's like the metal plate embossing folder, and I thought that we could use that in a card also to make something like that. So this is actually using it reverse, and what I mean by that is, let me see, because I did it both ways to show you. So this is if I use the embossing folder as it should be used with the metal plate embossed upwards, but I thought it would be too much for one of these cards, and this is a little bit more subdued, and it's kind of cool looking. So anyway, I'm gonna play with all these things. I love Ranunculus too. It's like I'm never parting with that one, Deborah. And we're gonna play with this and see what it come up with. And another thing that I did, and I showed you a little bit last week, is that for this card I actually tea stained it. So I'm gonna tea stain something today, and just to show you, to have a refresh in case you were not here last time. Oh, I used the wrong paper. This is the glitter paper, so I don't know if it will stain very well because it's a little shinier. It's how you call it. It's not the glitter paper, it's called the shimmery white paper. But anyway, let's try, because why not, right? So I have here tea. I did it very concentrated because I wanted to darken it as much as possible. It won't keep long. I thought it would, but it didn't, and I have a little experiment in my pot in my jar last time. So let's put something, because I'm gonna wet it. The good thing about this paper is that, see, it's not staining so well. But anyway, we'll try. Because it's a little shinier. It's not as porous as the regular cardstock. It may work. I have another one done because, of course, we need it dry to be able to play with it. So by the magic of TV. So I apply a generous coat of this because I want it dark. And if it curves, you can either put a book afterwards, or you can wet the back part of it and it will actually reverse the effect a little bit. it will flatten it, you see. Anyway, but I need to play with this part, so there we go. Yeah, look at all the bubbles that are coming here. I don't know what this comes from. I think it's because of the kind of cardstock. It's shiny quality. So anyway, I want some dark spots like this. And if you want to do some smaller ones, I think that looks old enough, right? Anyway, so then you let it dry. I put it on top of my radiator, which probably is not a good idea, but I do that so it dries quicker. Anyway, so I'm gonna put this aside and I'm gonna play with the one that I already have made. Oh, I love that you like that car, Deborah. I love that set. I don't know, it was not very popular, it looks like, but by the magic of TV, I already have one that I dyed yesterday and I let it dry for just this purpose. So let's start with, I don't know, let's start with Ranunculus Romance and get, let's get this stamp here. Sorry, I'm kicking the camera here. And I apologize because I was coming from Brooklyn today and I was late and I wanted to change the mat, and it's like, you can see, it's been used a lot. See my little cardinals there. Anyway, so I'm gonna use soft suede for this. As I said, I'm improvising, people, so bear with me, okay? Winging it. So yes, Deb, I recommend that, what is it called, the set, the sale set, On the Ocean. I love it. So we're gonna put it crooked like this. Well, it's kind of cool looking, I like it. And then, I think I want the balloon today. And I had a piece of crumb cake here, and we can stamp it on crumb cake. I think it will look better. So let me get the hot air balloon from Soar Confidently. But as I said, you just have to look for, in your stash of stamps, and look for the more vintage looking stamps and just play with them, because, you know, there's no rule, technically. So I'm gonna, in this, in Early Espresso, put this apart. And another thing that I like about making this kind of cards is something that we used to have with one suite of the, that had like also a globe or something, and it's this antique corners and slides element. They are discontinued, or, you know, retired, as we say, but I have a bunch of them because I love them. So alright, so let's see, we're gonna, and this set, the Soar Confidently didn't have matching dies, so I'm gonna have to fussy cut. Oh, so the bee is retired, Deborah? I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, seeing what Julia did with the bee is very, very inspiring. The good thing is that, yeah, there's no dice, but this is pretty easy to fussy cut. So there we go for it, like this. Fussy cut. Hope I'm on camera, and I know you move the paper to get a better cut, but you know, I'm trying to go fast because it's boring to see other people fussy cut. But I didn't really know what I wanted to make tonight, so I wanted the style, just to show you the different possibilities. And if it's not too late, I may show you a trick for that boat on the ocean bundle. And I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be done, but I layer two of the dies together to get a better effect. I haven't checked any videos on how to do it. I just winged it myself. And I'm using a piece of sponge because I had a bunch of them. And as you can see, they're a little old because they're shredding. But I'm just sponging the edges. And I wish I had actually done this with heat embossing. But anyway, this is gonna go like this for now. And then we'll put something like this here. And then the most important element of my cards is that I use these. These are another set of like a die cut from the Gear Up Garage. And then I use this as a stencil. And I should have actually, let's do it with soft suede because my early espresso is drying. So I just get some ink, and I should have used another sponge, but it doesn't matter. It will be a little darker. This paper is already antiqued with the tea staining technique, so I don't need much of this, but I want to see the gears. And you can use two different kinds of ink, and it will, you know, and then you can layer it. Like, it gives a little bit of texture with a antique look, mechanic look. That's what the word I was looking for. Yeah, Deborah is a great fussy cutter. I know that. I've seen her in action. I do enjoy fussy cutting myself, so no much complaining here. Let's punch this a little bit more. As I said, my early espresso is a little faded. I should have inked it before, but it still works, I think. And then what else? I'm gonna put something else back here, like maybe one of these strips going across. Let's see how that looks. We'll get this block. I'm gonna do this one in crumb cake, just for variety. As long as they're all in the same family of colors. And then, what else? Where did I put my balloon? I lost it. Oh, it's right here. We need something here, and then we're gonna put gears as well. And I don't know what else. Oh yeah, I wanted to use from Ranunculus Roman the Eiffel Towers thingy. I'm gonna do this one in soft suede as well. Alright, so now we have these, and we're gonna start putting some gears here. And as you can see, I have a lot. I've got a bunch of them in different colors and textures. Oh, I have the compass too. Let me put that out, and we'll see what we use. I have gears in all or metallic papers. I have in this shimmery, this is the brush metallic, and then I have them also cut in wood. I'm gonna leave this out because I like that look. And then I have some that I cut in the cork paper that we used to have. I have a little bit of that. So. And these are also from that set, from the kit of the watch and the globe that I cannot remember the name of. Deborah, I don't know if you remember the name of that kit. I'm blanking right now. So let's put some out, some different ones in gold, in copper. There's dull gold, and I wanted to cut them in the distressed gold and I forgot, so we're gonna play with this instead. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. These I already have. I think that should do it. See, there's two different kinds of, like a more shinier gold and some other old looking. Anyway, so let's see what we can do with this. And this is a piece because I had a part, so this is part of the big die, and I just cut it because if you put it like this, you're not gonna see it, but it can still it gets the look that there's more going behind this. So I like it like that. And the other thing I was gonna say is that this client doesn't want any sentiments on it because this is going to Spain and we don't have sentiments in Spanish, unfortunately. So she said that she'll address it inside, that I don't need to put any sentiments in it. So, but you can always add whatever sentiment the card is for. All right, so I like to put my main image and then I put things on top and behind. And I don't know, maybe, let me see if I like this. No, it's too much the same color. I wish I had done it in another color, but we can do it in another color. That's a good thing. I could do it in soft suede if I have a piece of soft suede around here. Yes. Will it fit? Yes. All right. So let's do the compass in soft suede. I also realized that the compass has the die for the needle or the arrows or needle here, and I didn't know because I forgot and I didn't cut it in gold, so I actually fussy cut the arrows myself, which we had the die for them. Oh well. So I'm gonna do this in early espresso over soft suede paper. I think it will look better. Yeah, the espresso, that's not inking so well, but let's see if we're a little luckier this time. And more fussy cutting, Deborah. Yeah, it's a little fade, but it's fine. It's fine. Fussy cut the circle. Actually, I didn't fussy cut the circle. What I did is actually use one of our die cuts of the dies of the layering circles. But now I don't want to get up and go to my station, my cutting station, which happens to be my dining room table. And I'm gonna fussy cut it like this. Because yes, the set came with the die for the arrows, but it didn't come with the dies for the circle, the actual compass. But thankfully we have the I don't know if I like it. No, I don't like it. All right, improvising here. Let's see what else I had. I had Mountain Air, and because Mountain Air, which is also still available, has this little moon here, which I like because I think, you know, you can put the moon here and it will look like the balloon went far, far, far up. So I'm gonna stamp that. Or maybe even stamp it on something and put underneath. Yes, I think I'll do that. And of course I don't have I'll do it in a lighter paper. I think I'll do it in this one. In the crumb cake. And I'll do crumb cake over crumb cake because the moon is lighter. And this is one of these double-sided stamps, and I'm gonna use it in the one that has more texture. Let's see how this looks. Oh, this is photopolymer. I needed my mat. I think it worked anyway. Oh yeah, it did. Alright, and more fussy cutting. We have the, yeah, there's no die cut for the moon in the dies of mountain air. So more fussy cutting. Maybe the smallest of our layering circles would work here, but as I said, I'm all enclosed in my little craft place with a chair on one side, a little table with my supplies on the other, and this I am, as I always tell you, in my TV tray. That's my craft studio. Oh, you have that set too? Yeah, I love it. Anyway, yeah, I think I like this. Yes. And we're gonna put the moon like that. Let's see, a little bit of let's start assembling things and putting things in. And I want to leave some space because I want to put a ribbon with the buckle. I think it gives a cool touch to this. Yeah, there we go. And maybe the ribbon with the buckle should be in the middle, so I think I can pass it through here. I'm gonna do it right now. And my favorite for this, and it came back, I thought it was discontinued, but it wasn't, is the faux suede trim, and it was in the catalog again. I thought it had gone away, and I actually was very sad. So I'm just gonna cut a piece to go across. Oops. I think we need to put a mini dimensional here because you don't want this to get stuck in an envelope when you put it on. If I can find my mini dimensionals, which I did. Wow, look at me. If they're not mini enough, you can always cut them in half. I'm trying to get the sticky thingy out. There we go. All right. I don't think you can see it, right? Can you? I don't think you can. All right, so let's continue with the buckle. And it has two sides, one that has the line and one that has the little texture, and I like the little texture, but I think it can look nice on the other side as well. So I'm gonna put the buckle there. Yes. And this is shaping up. You know, at the beginning it looks like nothing, and then you little by little. And what I do for now, I put stamping seal plus, oops, here, because if it's not totally straight, I can always lift it and adjust. So now I see it's like, oh no, you just went up. Why is this stamping still here? All right. And you put it till like you want it. So I think this has to be a little farther up, so, you know, to make it straight. Even though it doesn't matter because it's an antique looking car, so. I think that looks good now. Right? Oh, and another thing that I wanted to do and I forgot, and this is why it takes me forever to make cards. Hi, I don't know who else joined. Thank you for the hearts. I forgot to sponge the edges. Even though the decal rectangles, which I love, another thing that it's a staple in my stash, they already have this antique look. I'm sorry, I'm off camera, but just a little bit of sponge. You can use your sponge dauber if you don't have sponges, just a little bit. So this is looking good. Now we have to put the gears. The gears is what makes it, I think. And let's see what gears we can use that look cool. So I'm gonna put, see, you can barely see the gears that I stenciled on the background, but that's okay. You know, I like it that some are more visible than others, but it gives the texture. So a little bit of glue for this. I'm gonna put this one back here. And then there was a little hair, and I don't have cats or dogs or pets, so I don't know where that was coming from. I think it's from the brush that I was using for the tea. I think that's what it was. I'm gonna put this one that was missing because it was at the edge. And I'm very cheap with my paper. I used the whole thing, and then, you know, I'll find a way to use it. Anyway, so this, I should have done another color there, but it doesn't matter. I can totally layer this like that or there. I think maybe there. Yeah. So I'm going to put some behind and some on top. So the one that goes on top gets a little bit of, no, the ones that go on top get, yeah, they both get glue. Okay. Because I can use a dimensional too. But, okay, my glue is at the end. I don't want to go get another one. I'll do if I have to, but. So this goes on the top. And maybe I'll put the dimensional in this one. Mini dimensional. I should have done that before. It doesn't matter, it works still. It may be seen, so I'm gonna cut it in half. And I'm saving the other half for another little piece if I need it. Okay, because it's still not dry, I can lift it and put it back. All right. I put the glue here and now it's not sticking. But it will. It will. There we go. Just so it keeps. There we go. So let's add some more gears because I think it needs more underneath here. And then the good thing, I always try that some of them connect, you know, so it, like the gear connects with the other gear. But you can actually put them however you want. No, I already used these three over here, so I'm gonna use something else. And God knows I cut enough. This is too big. I don't like it. Let's bring, what else can we use? Like some wood one. This, we have this wood one, but it's very dark. And it's just like that one. Let's see if I can find. This one is a good one, I think. Or even the one in cork. No, the cork doesn't work here. Not for my taste. Maybe this one. No, this is too shiny. I don't like that either. I'm very picky, as you can tell. It's like, that's why it takes me so long to create a card, because I play with it until I'm happy with it. And then if I want to do it again, then it's easier because I've done it, right? But until I find what I want, yeah. No, this one is fighting that. It takes time. All right, let's see if with that we have enough. Oh, and I said I was going to play with this and I didn't put it, but I think it's too modern looking for this one. Yeah. So we're going to put one of these here. Maybe this one. Yeah. I'm going to use mini dimensional. See if it gets seen. It is a little seen, so I'm gonna cut it in half, or use the other half of the other one, and then cut more halves. Hi, Camelia, thank you for joining. Camelia is joining from Malaysia. What time is it there, Camelia? So let's see. I'm moving a little bit dimensional. This one is gets seen, so I'm gonna just adjust it so it doesn't get seen through the hole. We're gonna put it right here. I want to cover the moon, and then we will, maybe the moon will have like, the moon is also lifted with an engine or a mechanism. So for these ones, I know I can use the regular size, and not all of them have to be lifted. One can be just glued down. No, that's too much. Maybe just one of the wood ones. Like this. Yeah, I like that. This I'm gonna just glue down. And make it look like they go together. I think this needs, okay, no, okay, it's fine, I think. So this is how it's looking so far, but this is just the top layer of our card, because then we have to attach it to our base. And for the base, I did something simple. I use our scripty for this one, and for the other ones that I showed you before, I use a Time Warp type 3D embossing folder, and for this one, I use the scripty embossing folder. I like to emboss things not on camera because the stamp and emboss machine doesn't fit here, so I'd rather do it off camera. I tried to do it on camera once and it was a little bit of a mess. Not much was seen. Okay, excuse my tapping the glue. Little bit of glue. This is gonna be my frame lay, and I did this. This is or regular card base in early espresso, 5.5 by 4.25, and this is 2/8 of an inch smaller on each side. So I just have 1/8 of an inch just all around. And I realized that the scripty should have been, well, it's gonna be a vertical card, people. I'm sorry. The script is gonna be on the side, but it's okay. And I made this with the second decal rectangle, the second largest decal rectangle, so you can see a little bit of the embossing underneath. And we're just gonna attach it, and that will be it. Thank you, Deborah. I'm glad you like it. And this ribbon I love, but it's a little thick, so I put extra glue there. And I'm just putting glue in the middle because it's a little wavy because of the tea staining, but I'm fine with it because I like it to look like it lifts a little bit. So, and I'm gonna do it slanted just because it's my new thing for this kind of card. And then I'm gonna add some bling. And where is my bling? I showed it to you guys, and now I don't know where I put it. Just typical. I thought it was in this, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is. It fell off. I have these brush metallic adhesive back dots, or I have these that come from the kit with the globe and the pocket watch. And I think I'm gonna use these ones. I'm gonna use the copper ones because there's a lot of copper in this card. So let's see how that looks. Just for a final touch, well, pre-final touch, but I think for a final touch for this card right now. And here's my using my piercing tool, even though the take your pick tool would be ideal. Actually, I do like this color, but I only have 2 left. But I like this color because it goes more like this. But, well, the copper goes with these 2 things. So I'm fine with the copper. So I'm going to just put 3 copper, 2 large and 1 little. And that's it. That's a steampunk looking style card. And what I said that we have to do inside is that we have to put something that we can write on. So let me see if I can have, I think I pre-cut some bases in vanilla. Did I say that it was very vanilla? I guess you guessed it. I'm sure that everybody guessed it. Thank you, Deborah. Yes. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stamp just like the top of the balloon here, so it kind of matches that it's rising. And because it's a vertical card, thank God I remember, because sometimes I make that mistake and I put it right here and then it goes like that. But well, it doesn't matter because it's steampunk, so it could be a little off. So I'm gonna do it back here. And I'll do the same on the envelope when I'm ready for the envelope. I'm not gonna do it on camera now. But we're gonna do this, and that will be it. So just to summarize, use the colors that we were talking about: soft suede, early espresso. Those are to me the ones that are more steampunk like, my impression at least. Glass this. I didn't want to do it on the image usually, but there's so much going on the card. And this is it. I think it's a pretty cute card. And I think it's pretty steampunk. Do you think? I close the ink. And as I said, like, you know, these colors, and just find in your stash the more vintage looking stamps and just play with them and mix and match. And we can have put the compass, or I like the moon in this case. I think it looks pretty cute. Actually, let me put some wrinkled stella on that moon to make it a little shinier. I will give it a little humph, right? Second layer. And there we go. I think it looks cute. And another thing I did in the other cards, I wanted to go, but you know, I think I'm gonna put something else, something else. I did a little bit of heat embossing on some sides, and I do that when the card is done, which is not a great idea, but I kind of want to see how it's looking before I commit to do the heat embossing. So we're gonna put, I'm getting a sponge that it's just white, like with no ink at all, and I just do the Versamark. And just a little bit on some edges, just to give a little bit of interest. Like in this case, I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna do a little bit here, and I'm gonna do a little bit here. That's it. Okay, now this can be messy, I'm warning you. Now I'm gonna get a paper and my gold embossing, and I think I remember I did there, I did a little bit there, and I did a little bit there. Wow. Get the excess. Oh, it didn't take in here. Oh, I did it in the other side, right? Yes, I did it on the other side. It helps because the Versamark is transparent, so you cannot tell. I'm gonna save this, funnel it in my pot again. That was interesting, right? Just the orange paper there. Sorry. Small space, people. I have to make do. And I'm gonna heat emboss this off camera because my cable is not large enough. So sorry about that. I'm gonna have to actually get up and heat emboss it with a heat gun. I'll leave you with this so you don't see the dirty stuff underneath. You can hear the heat gun going. All right, let's see how this looks. Just with the sponge a little bit, just as you would sponge with ink, I sponged it with the Versamark. I put a little bit of the powder, and this is how it's looking. It gives it a little extra, right? I like it. I hope you like it. And now, thank you, Deborah. I'm glad you love it. And now I'm for real gonna let you go. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be more organized next time, I promise. But I'm glad you like the cards, and I hope you make use of your vintage looking stamps to make a fun card like this. Okay? Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Bye.